What up, guys? As many of you may already know, we have a huge balancing patch coming up. I say huge because some of these changes are ones we've been waiting on since these monsters dropped. So first, let's go take a look at this pre-notice here. So this balancing patch will drop. Do we have a date yet? I think it just says soon. Yeah, no clear indication on when, but usually when they give us these pre-notices, it's about by the end of the week. I expect we'll probably see this one Friday-ish, my guess. So we probably got about 3 days. Now what this means, usually, when we're going to get new content, we get a balancing patch first. We get new monsters, then we get a balancing patch, then we get the new content. And as we've already seen, we got the Boomerang Warriors and the Chakram Dancers. Those were our new monsters. This is our balancing patch. We should see Transmogs next, probably Friday when this patch drops, and then we'll probably start seeing the new notice about the incoming PvE content or PvP content. Now, is this surefire? No. We don't know for absolute certain ever when Comtuos is going to do something. We were told we were going to have Dimensional Hole December. So, if that's what we've got coming in, it's a little late, but probably about 3 years late. We've been waiting on this a while. I don't expect to actually see it on time. I just don't. That's not their MO. On one hand, it could just be them trying to get the finishing touches on stuff, perfecting it, yada yada. Or, they just like building hype. It is a game, after all. That's how it works. So for those of you who haven't read this yet, we're going to go ahead and read it to you guys. And then to end the stream, we'll probably blow it up. Yeah, these Nat 5 buffs, I think, are the most important to look at. So, first and foremost, the Fire Unicorn's human form. This is Helena, my Fire Unicorn. I am so excited about this buff. We've been begging for it since it dropped. Read her reviews. It's nothing but people begging. She's good. She was always good. But she's just not good enough. I saw that Wu Yang get pulled. I also saw Awunsa in 122 as well earlier. And I pulled another prom. I think it's like my 18th one. And a Darien. And then poor Meg back here got what?
I like Crow.
Oh yeah, she got Crow. So anyways, Helena. So the problem with Helena was she was meant for Guild Wars. She was meant for Guild Wars, she was meant for Guild Siege. She was a little bit meant for RTA, but she wasn't strong enough to do that. Because the problem was, as soon as it was a 3v whatever, she would not turn rotate them when she would use her Swaying Flames. The Swaying Flames, with her passive, would give her 100% attack bar increase as long as she hit 4. Because 25% per crit. I have her 100% crit rate, what you should have on Helena, or at least as close as you can get to it, like an Ethna or a Reiki, or I think Kraka's the other one with the same skill. But the moment it got down to 3 monsters you were fighting, or in a Guild War, Guild Siege situation, it's a 3-monster situation. Oh, yeah, just like Diana as well. You wouldn't be able to land enough crits to get the extra turn to switch back to beast form to tank. she would just get caught out and she would die. So what this does... Oh, Pontos. That's a good one, too. It's no manananananan, but it's still pretty good. But what this...
Say that one again for me?
Manananananan. Mananananananananananananana. It was the dark one, so it works. Anyway, what this does, the absorbs 10% of the enemy's attack bar on the swaying flames. What this does is in a 3v3 situation or a 3v4 situation, it allows you to still pull that 100% attack bar. And in a 2v whatever situation, she can still pull 70% attack bar and decrease by 10%. This allows her to continue taking turns. This allows her to change back to that human form, change back to that beast form to continue living. Like, as it is right now, if you switch to human form and you don't land enough crits, or you are fighting only 3 monsters, she cannot switch back. She gets screwed, she dies. And then she's worthless. This makes her stay in the fight longer. This allows her to do more damage. This allows her to do a little bit of crowd control. I'm actually debating switching her to Despair for this reason. This is huge for Helena. It doesn't seem like much. Absorbing 10% is not that big a deal. But in this case, it's huge. So moving forward, we've got the Panda Warrior, the Fire Panda, Xiang Fei, the one that hasn't been buffed since he released because he hasn't needed it. He's good. He is meant entirely for PvE. You rarely see him in PvP unless he's on Despair and people are just trolling with him. He didn't really need the buff, but this from 50 to 70% harmful effect activation rate on his 3rd skill, this allows him a lot more usability in Raid, actually, more than anything. This makes R5 a little bit more attainable to earlier players, which allows for a little bit quicker progression. That's the only reason they did this, in my opinion. PvP use a little bit, I guess, but the main purpose of this was to allow for that quicker progression into Raid, into Necro, so that he can land those debuffs and you can sustain easier. Now, this is the crazy one. Juno is finally getting her buff that she has always deserved, regardless of the fact that she was already annoying as all hell to fight. She didn't need the buff, but this puts her on par with Sierra, with Praha, probably not with Lima or with Gianna, because those two are just broken and no non-LND Nat 5 is ever going to keep up with them. But this puts her on par with them. Yeah, dude, triple Oracle AD is totally going to be viable, which is ridiculous. There's very few Nat 5s that you can just run all 3 of the trifecta and get away with it. But these Oracles are going to be viable now. So before, she would remove the harmful effect if you start the turn with 2 or more harmful effects. So if you only had a defense break, you were screwed. That was it. She would not do anything about it. But if you had like a stun and a defense break, or if you had a stun and a bomb, she was a counter to that, which was fun. It was nice, but it wasn't 100% viable. It didn't keep up in RTA at all, and that's, I think, why they did this. So now, rather than it having to be 2 harmful effects and recovering 15% of her, recovers your HP by 15% and the HP of your allies by 10% for each removed harmful effect. Instead of that, now she's going to remove all harmful effects if you start the turn with a harmful effect. And recovers the HP of your allies by 10% of your max HP for each harmful effect removed. This isn't their max HP. If her max HP is 40k, she will now heal for 4k per harmful effect removed. And even if there's only 1 debuff, that's what she does. If you can cut a Galleon, oh yeah, if it cleansed team, it's done. Vero is no longer viable. She's the best Nat 5 in the game. The best counter nemesis healer in the game, I guess. Regardless, this is shattering. If you see Junos and ADs, you need to be careful now. From, like, what I'm assuming will be Friday forward. If you see Juno, be careful. You cannot let her take a turn in between your monsters. And if you have Juno, my suggestion to you, immediately put Nemesis on her. If you have Nemesis runes that are fast, just think Praha. She needs to cut their team. That's it. That's all she needs to do. Her passive will do the rest. And she doesn't even really need Will. Like, yes, Tessarion will shut her down if she's not on Will. But they're not going to bring Tessa into the fight. Poor David. Yeah, triple Nem, Despair Nem. You could do double Nem Will. You could do double Nemi Energy. If you need to do that, you can do Swift Nemi if you can do that. It doesn't matter. She needs to be fast, she needs to be tanky, or she needs to have Nemesis. That's it. I don't even honestly think she needs the skill out. Like, maybe for the strip count on her second skill. Maybe. Try to skill up to that point. But, like, she's gonna be broken. She's going to be difficult, she's going to be angry, and I think with this movement towards a lot of these Nemi healers, with these buffs towards a lot of these monsters, they're trying to help kind of counteract the cleave meta. Yeah, Megan's not sleeping. There's a first. So anyways, moving forward, the Water and Dark Paladins. They've added the effect to their second skill. Yeah, the Fury of Punishment. She now gets that counterattack buff like the pandas. And when she counterattacks, the damage will be a 75%. Now, that doesn't seem like a big deal, but when you've got an auto attack stun in play, that can be a little bit of a problem. So make sure, if you've already got Revenge runes on the Water or the Dark Paladin, my suggestion is take them off. You won't need them anymore. This passive effect, it's not actually a passive, but this effect will handle that for you. You can focus more on getting those energy runes on her, getting whatever set you're trying to get. Just focus on stats. Rune sets won't matter as much on her anymore. Now, furthermore, this is what I've been waiting on. Now, they did buff the Light Paladin slightly already. She got that auto attack heal that counts towards herself, which is what Perna should have had already, but they took it away from Perna and they gave it to the Light Paladin, and I cry about it every night. But now, like Chandra, like Rakan, the protect your team ability will not be all she gets to do in a turn. As soon as she hits that provoke, she gets an additional turn now, which means take Violent off of your Gene. Whatever. Your Gene does not need Violent anymore. You AoE provoke, and you instantly get another turn, and you throw invincibility up on Jean, and then you just wait. You don't have to do anything else at that point. It makes her completely viable in every PvP situation. It makes her viable in TOA hard, all the way to the top, in my opinion. Yeah, you can only counter a Sierra until she Bioprocs out on you. Now, the Water Monkey, All or Nothing, Water and Light Monkey, they got another buff. Apparently, the Water Monkey was so bad that one buff just wasn't enough, so they're giving him 3. He got 1 in the last update, he's getting 2 more now. So, first off, the Absorb Attack Bar added effect if the enemy target is under a harmful effect. That's good. If you can stun them with any of those hits on All or Nothing, he absorbs their attack bar by 30%. Or, if they're already stunned, it's an AoE attack bar reduction. That's pretty big. Now, in addition to that, his Alter Ego attack goes from a 50% effect removal rate to 100%. It is a guaranteed strip rate, guys. Now, that doesn't mean that it ignores resistance, so you do still need that accuracy on him, but you won't have the issues with him just not even trying, which is super frustrating to a lot of the owners of the Water Monkey. You're welcome. Now, here's a big one. They finally buffed Jara. They finally buffed both of the Light Dark Phoenixes, actually. Which is great, because all of a sudden Sigmaris was better than an LD Nat 5. Kinda sucked. But they're fixing that. So before, the Light Phoenix would remove a beneficial effect and deals damage to all enemies with Holy Fire, and prevents them from receiving beneficial effects for 1 turn. Meh. It's an AoE strip, AoE buff block for 1 turn. Not bad, but eh. Now, it removes those beneficial effects and defense breaks them if you successfully remove the beneficial effect and inflicts damage. So it's no longer a buff block, it's an AoE strip defense break. That's pretty big. That's not Tiana big, but this will replace Galleon in a lot of comps, I feel like. If you just make him crazy fast, you can use him to strip off the shield will, and then you can run just any attack buffer in the game, to be honest, and then cleave. This makes him a lot more viable. He takes the slot of 2 monsters instead of just 1, and allows you to run that 4-man okay, so it doesn't replace Galleon, but in a comp situation like that, he can. This allows you to, similar to Tiana, run 2 DPS rather than only 1. So you can run a strip, a defense break, an attack bar boost, and 2 nukes, which is 5 slots usually. In Tiana's case, she replaces the attack bar booster and the strip. In the Light Phoenix's case, it'll take the attack, or the strip and the defense break. But, moving on, we've got the Dark Phoenix as well. Fiery Path is going from a skill to a passive, just like what they did to Vanessa. I don't know how much that's going to affect it, but let's read on. So before, it burns the enemy's souls with Soul Fire, disturbing HP recovery and branding the target for 3 turns. This enemy cannot be revived if the enemy is killed with this skill. Decent, I guess. It's a brand heal block for 3 turns, which is pretty cool, especially for raid. And then if you kill something, it can't be rezzed, just like Reiki. Or, I believe it's the wind is it the water Anubis? Which is not bad. But now, it's a passive. So it's every attack, you've got a 50% chance to leave that branding effect, and when you kill something, that enemy cannot be revived. the cooldown time of Dark Nova, that second skill that does percent HP damage, will now be decreased by 1 when you kill something. That's pretty big. That means every turn, I believe, or every other turn maybe, you can kill something and it can't be rezzed. You can nuke them for a crazy amount of damage and they just can't come back. If you don't kill them, you've got a 50-50 chance to leave a 3-turn brand. I don't know that there's anything else in the game that leaves a brand that lasts that long. So if nothing else, I would say the Dark Phoenix is now viable as a raid DPS. Pretty big deal. You remember, like, a couple months ago when we got that Dark Nine-Tailed Fox Hall of Heroes? Well, they buffed her. So now the Fire and the Dark Nine-Tailed Fox, that enchant ability, that second skill that sleeps, something we all hate dealing with in Necro. And if you use either of them in Rift, that sleep takes up a turn, and if you don't sleep something, it just doesn't get another turn. It kind of sucks when she uses it on the boss. Yeah, I mean, they changed her AI to not do it, but she still tries in Rift, which blows. But now, if she sleeps something, she immediately takes another turn. There's no condition. She attempts the sleep, she immediately takes another turn. This allows her a little bit more validity in RTA, this allows her way more validity in Rift and in Necro, especially the Fire one. This allows her to hit that brand a lot more often as well because she's turn rotating. She's trying to sleep, failing, or succeeding, either way, and taking another turn, lowering that cooldown on the third skill, which is important. That is the skill you want to happen more often. Also, the Phantom Light on the Fire Nine-Tailed Fox's third skill. She no longer only recovers 50% of the damage dealt, she recovers 100% damage, or 100% of the damage dealt. That's a lot. She deals a lot of damage. But before, that 50% heal back, it sometimes wasn't enough. I mean, you definitely weren't going to run a hybrid build on her. That's for sure. She just wasn't valid for it. But now, I feel like she might be able to be used in that, especially for like a 4-star RTA situation, or the 20-star RTA situation, or the 4-star towers in Siege. That allows a little bit more utility, that allows her a little more survivability, and eventually, progressively, a lot more damage. They actually buffed all of the Nine-Tails, though, so the water one is not so ridiculous now. That third skill that's always been called Cleanse. God, that has bothered me since day one of this game, because she was my first Nat 4, other than Beretta. The skill's called Cleanse. Why does it strip? That's a question that has boggled my mind forever. But now, it's a strip and a cleanse. She's like mini Tiana, but without the attack bar increase. That bit kind of blows, but she's a Nat 4. They're not going to make her a Nat 5. So now she's a strip and a cleanse. This allows, again, that extra usability in Siege situations. She's a 4-star strip now. You can use her against those Chloe teams as always, but she also counts for that cleanse. She literally hard counters a Galleon. If they don't have an attack bar booster, you can cut their team with this cleanse ability, strip those attack buffs off, and cleanse the defense break off, which is a big deal. It's very, very helpful. And if you run her on Despair, like I had originally, that allows for a lot of utility. She has so much she can do in her kit now. It's crazy. She was my first transmog when they first dropped. And, yeah, on that ground, she is a little bit better than Tiana. I will agree with you there, but she doesn't have the attack bar boost, which is why they call her Freeana, because she's just a free win in a lot of cases. But she's like 4-star Tiana, which is really cool. Now, Orang, the Wind Nine-Tailed Fox, the Sweet Talk, which is her 3rd skill, I believe, increases damage dealt to enemies that are under the harmful effects by 50%. That's like Brandia. That is a lot of damage. She already had huge nukes before, but now you're going to see upwards of like 90k on that 3rd skill. It's going to happen. Yeah, Brandia needs a brand. I definitely agree. Now, the Light Nine-Tailed Fox, who, in my opinion, was already a little broken, but they have reduced that reincarnate cooldown time again. It goes down to a 4-turn already. I believe this makes it a 3-turn. I could be wrong in that case. It might go down to a 5. But regardless, it's a stackable ability. It goes up and up and up and up, and it's a full cleanse, full heal, and she already just does so much damage. Auto attack, 3-turn heal break. 2nd skill gives her a bubble equal to the damage dealt, just like Soha, just like the Dark One. No, the Dark One's got the enchant. I think just Soha. I'm sorry. But regardless, she already had that bubble, she already had that heal break, and she already had the reincarnate that just cleanses, full heals. Super annoying, but now it's a lower cooldown, just like what they did to Lumi. She's just insane. If you have her, use her in raid, use her in whatever you can, because she's super fun. Now the Assassins. The Assassins, the named monster that you still can't type in chat, they have buffed them. I'll let you know, John. I'm not sure about that yet. Possibly. But Fire, Water, and Light, the Death Verdict, the 3rd skill, silences the target for 2 turns with a 75% chance. So if you don't kill it already, the light one does the silence as it is. But why? The amount of damage you should be putting out on Stella, for starters, did not need a buff. But now I would think she's usable in RTA. She's a little bit more usable in Siege. She didn't need this buff. The Fire one needed a little bit of a buff. The Light one needed a little bit of a buff. I will agree to that, and that's, I think, why Stella got the buff she did. But regardless, this silence is more for PvP than anything. This allows all 3 of them to be a little bit more usable in... Yeah, Fire needs a hard buff. I think right now she's only usable in Wind Rift. That's it. Or against super heal teams. But this silence ability kind of makes her a little bit more viable in Siege, and I think that's why they did this. Now, the Wind and the Dark, the Capture Opportunity, that 2nd skill that immediately gives her an attack buff and an additional turn, they have decreased the cooldown time by 1 turn from 6 turns to 5 turns, which, once skilled out, I believe goes down to a 3-turn cooldown and a 4-turn cooldown on her 3rd skill. So rather than having to capture opportunity, then use her 3rd skill, and then wait 3 turns, and both skills come off cooldown at the same time, which is kind of lame. You can now almost use that capture opportunity like Sierra's bomb plant. So you can capture opportunity, kill something, wait, capture opportunity, auto attack, capture opportunity, kill something. This allows Violent to be usable on the Wind Assassin and the Dark Assassin, in my opinion. Now, do I recommend it? Not necessarily. She needs the damage output regardless. But it's a valid concept. Why? Triple-digit arena invites. Yeah, I would say that's, I mean, save them up. Wait till 1 week when you're just ready to push hard and hit Guardian. Now, the Fire Brownie Magician, you know that one that everyone says is trash? The Whistle. I believe that's his second skill. Will now grant a random buff to each of your allies. It's like reverse Orion. So now it will grant one of the effects out of increased attack, increased defense, increased attack speed on all allies. Now, I don't know if this means that each of them will get something different, like Orion's third skill, but in reverse, or if it'll just randomly choose one, like Dova, and apply it to all three. Yeah, what he said. Arena's not for everyone, but get those towers maxed. Don't be me. Now the Fire Purette, literally the worst Purette. She got a buff to that Wheel of Fire. The chance of increasing the harmful effect by 1 turn has been increased from 15% to 20%. I believe it hits 3 times, so you've got like average of 60% activation rate, I would say. Now that's again not guaranteed, but what are you gonna do? I think we'll see another buff to her again. Clara's just not quite viable yet. Definitely not in comparison to the other 4, because the other 4 are all very, very, very good. Now the Sylphs. I have been waiting on a Tyron buff forever, so I was excited to see these guys' names in here, but I'm a little upset to not see my Ashabel in the list. They need to drop his third skill cooldown by 1 turn. That's all I'm asking for, but it's not going to happen this time. The Cyclone ability on the Water, Light, and Wind has been reduced by 1 turn, which means every 5 before it was every 5 turns, now it's going to be every 4 turns. Once you skill them out, I believe it's a 3 turn cooldown. Every 3 turns, I believe, possibly 2, but I believe 3, you can AoE glancing for 2 turns, which is nice. This allows you to consistently have it up, which lets you take less damage, and being as these Sylphs on average are fairly squishy, these ones specifically, it allows them a little bit more sustainability, allows you to stay in the fight a little bit longer if you can get the skill off. The Cyclone ability, when awakened on the Wind Sylph, decreases the cooldown time again now. And now, the damage is equivalent not only to your attack power, but also your attack speed. This gives a little bit more validation to that speed drain on the third skill. So you get the speed buff, and then you come in with Cyclone, and it deals a lot more damage. And with Awakening dropping the cooldown time again, this allows him to do it probably every other turn, I would assume. That brings it down to a 2-turn cooldown, because without skill ups, this will be a 3-turn cooldown, which is a big deal. Like, that's a very, very frequent attack that you can use, and allow him to stay alive a little bit longer, which is great, because the Wind Sylph is squishy as all hell. But here is the important one. Tyron. This is why I never used Tyron before, and why I will build the next Tyron I pull. Decrease the cooldown time by 1 turn on Hailstorm. That's his AoE freeze that originally was a 6-turn cooldown, and max skilled was a 5-turn cooldown. It wasn't viable. you would AoE freeze, and if you did not kill them in that one turn that you had extra, you would die. They would come back and they would wipe your board. He would not be able to come back from it. But now, he's got that 3-turn, well, 1-turn decreased cooldown, which will be like a 4-turn cooldown on it. He can AoE freeze, and if you can turn rotate fast enough, you can get it up now. It's a possibility. We'll catch you later, Jonathan. Thanks for dropping in. And another buff to another Sylph. I actually pulled this one on my EU server account, so I'm a little excited about this as well. We have another attack bar absorption on that double cyclone, and I believe it hits 8 times. Or maybe it's 4. It's AoE, but it's 4, so technically it counts for 8. I'm sorry. AoE, but it's 2. You get a 40% attack bar reduction on an AoE. That's a 20% chance of it even happening, but 40% chance, plus it's a base stun. It has a built-in stun, and now an attack bar reduction. Plus, being as it's absorbing it, if you land 5 of those out of the 8 hits, you immediately get another turn. That's a pretty big deal. If you've already got him on Despair, you will stun lock a team with just this guy. The Light Sylph is now very, 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 very good. If you got him from the Hall of Heroes forever ago, congratulations. You now have a god tier stunner. Elven Rangers. The Dark Elven Ranger, the problem before, was it just, oh, you ruined your Toasty and your Seek. Good. The Support of Fire, it would hit once. It was his passive. He would counterattack, I believe. And it would hit once. Chance of stun, I believe. And, like, it was good, but it wasn't great. It now hits 3 times, increasing your chance of stunning. And, total damage increased by 30%. That's a little bit better. It's not a crazy change, but it's decent. Fire, Wind, and Dark, the Arrow Storm, that's the second skill, I believe, possibly. Could be, no, it's definitely the second skill. On the Fire, Wind, and Dark, the continuous damage activation rate for 1 turn of 50% went up to 75. Yeah, it hits 3 times, but the total damage on the skill. So rather than doing, say, 5k damage with 1 hit, it's now doing 30% of 5k. Why did I do this? Okay, we'll say it's doing 10k damage with the first skill, which probably won't happen. He's not meant to do that much damage. But we'll say 10k. It's now doing 13k over the course of 3 hits. So it'll be doing like 4.3k every hit, rather than doing just a flat rate of 10k. So you're totaling out with slightly more damage, but a lot more hits. This is like what they did to the Barbaric King's auto attacks. It was a slight damage increase, less hits, versus this is a slight damage increase, more hits. We'll catch you later, Ivan. Thanks for dropping in. The Water and Light Elven Rangers. So if you fed your Light Elven Ranger, this might be a bit problem for you. If not, congrats. He's cool now. The ankle shot stun rate went from 30% to 50%. That's pretty decent. The Waters and Trap ability, the attack bar decrease of all enemies, went from 30% like Spectra to a 50%, which is a little bit better. He didn't have the slow that Spectra had. This made this ability really underwhelming, and a reason that a lot of people just did not build him. Now, unfortunately, that means those Water Elven Rangers you gotta fight in TOA and TOA hard, good luck. They're going to be a pain in the ass now. And that's, again, why they buffed the Dark Elven Ranger. That passive is going to be a little bit more annoying. You can't just Garo it. Well, thanks for resubbing, I guess. Or please resub if you haven't already. The Light Elven Ranger, again, they increase damage. And that's about it to that steady shot. Not much else. Skill modification on the Dark Phoenix. How are you modifying a passive that doesn't exist yet? Change the damage increase / cooldown time decrease to harmful effect activation rate increase. Absolutely, man. We'll definitely try to help you as much as we can. Paladin, Water and Dark, the Fury of Punishment. The dungeon AI modification due to added skill effects. What did they change about them again? Let's go double check that. The Water and Dark, yep, the passive. Because of the counterattack build-in, they changed when they'll use the skill in a dungeon. I assume in certain situations they wouldn't use that skill simply because it didn't help you, I guess. I assume that modification is only going to be situational because they added that counterattack into it. So, just to recap real quick, my favorite bits of this buff, these first three, the Light Paladin, all of the Nine-Tailed Fox changes, the Water Sylph buff, and the Phoenixes. The Phoenixes really did need a buff. They did not feel like Light Dark Nat 5s. I mean, don't get me wrong, the change from just strip and beneficial effect blocking to strip defense break it's going to be a little bit more painful, to say the least. But that's all we got for this balancing patch. I'm going to go ahead and do my Guild Wars real quick if anybody wants to stick around for that. But otherwise, we'll catch you guys later, probably tomorrow, when we're going to do literally what we're going to do now. So, probably just want to stick around. Let's get going on some guild battles. Wow, we already won this one. Okay. Let's go ahead and take out this guy. Alright, what do we want to take here? Let's see. For Ethna, Kamoon, Theo, I mean, we can just mirror match it. Actually, we probably will mirror match it. Let's go ahead and do that. And if anybody wants to see any runes on any of these monsters, do let me know. I'm not always the best about being intuitive about that, and my runes aren't actually the best. So, suggestions are always welcome as well. For this second team, we need a cooldown reset for Perna, always. Gonna bring Okeanos. Now, the thing with running Oki... Thanks, David. Thanks for the support. We're gonna run a Sig team for this. Oh, somebody's already attacking it. You know what? We're gonna do it anyways. We already won. My runes are doo-doo, though. You're not wrong. But I get by. So their Ethna outsped mine. Poor James. You're so mean to yourself, man. You gotta lighten up. Let's see if we can do something to this Ethna. Wow, she's a tanky. She's a tanky something or other. So is he. Wow, and we didn't even get the crit on their Theo. And this is done. We're going to go ahead and quit out of this. This guy was just inherently better than us. And this guy's full will and we're faster. So we're going to go ahead and try not to do too much. We'll go for the reset on Perna. And we're going to get it. Cool. Annabelle's going to proc, though. This could be trouble. Oh, you fought them too? Annabelle's probably going to cleanse, but we're going to try it anyways. Yep, there's the cleanse. And we're done here too. Wow, this guy was strong. Alright, well for this next one, we're gonna take a leaf out of YDCB's book. We're gonna go to 122, and we're gonna grab some random names from chat. So the first 3 that I actually have the reps from, I don't have a Nikki, I don't have a Rika, I can't do that. We're gonna grab the first 3 reps that we see, and we're gonna take them into the next guild battle. I don't have that one. I actually don't have all that many monsters built compared to some of these guys, so. And we don't have an Arnold. It's the same guy. I have Alicia. We can do that one. Thanks, David, for hitting me up with that. What else we got? We can use Illusion. And what else we get? We've seen Drunk before already. Oh, come on. Somebody else say something. Why is chat so dead right now? What was BCP's? We already looked at his. We don't have a Lapis. We don't have Darien built yet. We don't have an Annabelle. Croc says Teor set right now. We're already using Lucian. We don't have a Ragdoll. We don't have a Grago. Oh, come on. Usually there's so much more going on. We don't have a Teshar. We have the other 2. We have Julie. We can use Julie. Okay, here we go. So we've got 3 nukes that we have to use in these teams. I'm not going to do exactly what YDCB does because I'm not that good. But, I don't want to take it into that. Definitely don't want to take it into that. Okay, we'll do this one. So we have to use my Ghetto as Lucian. Where's he at? There he is. We have to use Alicia. And, Julie. Julie was the other one. Is she even built right now? Oof. Barely. We have to use Julie. Okay, so we're gonna bring those 2 that one. We'll bring Alicia down here. Oh, we have to use that Lucian. What are you doing? Have to use the Lucian. Let's see. We will try. And then down here we can use Galleon and Tiana. There we go. We're going to try this. I'm thinking we're going to get outsped by that Bernard team, and I'm a little upset about it, but we're going to try anyways, because we promised we'd use these 3 monsters. There's the outspeed, but we're okay so far. And they're just rotating us. Let's go for the freezing shot on Theo. Nope, no freeze. And she dies. That's okay. We still have a chance. Our Lucian is Despair, so if we can get a stun off, we're definitely in the clear. Oof. And Lucian's down. That's done. We've already won this Guild War, so I'm not really too worried about winning. I just kind of want to have fun with it. We'll do this again for the next war as well, but I've lost a lot of monsters, so rather maybe not. There's that defense break, and we clean up. There we go. Alright, let's go again. What do we got? What do we got? We have Beth. We can use Beth. We have Homu. We can use that. And what's Fizzle got? All these Teor reps. We have, like, the wrong element of all of these. Oh, don't get me wrong. Teor is a great rep to have. I just don't have him. Not on this account. I don't have Cadiz. Punk. What do we got in guild chat? Maybe that'll help. Nope, we've already checked all 3 of you. BCP doesn't help. No Ariel, nope. No Archangels yet. Still waiting on my Vila. Got another couple weeks, hopefully. Oh, poor Fizzle here just pulled the 3rd. God, I'm trying to click Kitty. Alright, apparently we're going Julie again. Okay, we can do this. I have no immunity at all, James. It's frustrating, trust me. So we've got Beth and Water Homunculus. And then we'll go... Oh, okay, I do have Chloe, but other than that, I've got nothing. And we'll try, I guess, to run the Julie. I don't know how well it's gonna go, but we're gonna try it. Where's the Julie? Where is my... Oh, Julie died. We can't use Julie. Somebody shout out a name. Who are we gonna cleave this with? Who are we gonna kill this with? Any one monster. You want me to use Vero? We'll use Vero. Any other requests? We'll use Garo. Oh, you want Lumi? We'll use Lumi. Oh no. Nothing but dot damage into the Rakuni? Okay. Okay. We'll try it. You want me to use Garo? We'll use the Light Reaper instead of her. Where's the Light Reaper? I hate this guy. I really don't like the Light Reaper. What's his leader skill? Attack power of other light monsters? Meh. Alright, we're gonna try this. Lumi helped me live, but... Yeah. That's what I was hoping for here. We've already won the guild battle. I'll let you guys torture me a little bit. Alright, so we should be able to cleanse this off. We will Eternal Scar. Nice, we got all 3 heal breaks too. And now we'll Ice Mist. Wet Noodle Theo. Good. Let's load some more dots up with Gouge. And we should win now. Look at that, butchered team, we still pulled it off. I mean, we did have Tiana. Oof. Okay. We need to put some damage into this Rakuni first. We'll focus down on him. Can we stun the Laika? We got the stun on Laika. But unfortunately my Light Reaper is the slowest monster here. So we're not going to be able to do anything with him yet. We're going to wait until Ligaro comes back around, and we should be able to get his skill off. As long as he doesn't take those debuffs. My lord, what are we doing here? Okay. We got 2 stuns off still. We got 2 stuns off, but not the ones we needed. We didn't keep anything on. We're going to lose this one. I'm just going to click play and click on Rakuni. Because he has to die before we can do anything about the Laika. Can Garo solo? Not with that. Not with all these debuffs, he can't. Oh, wow. And down he goes. I need to build a Harmonia. I'm probably going to fuse one. I still have no Vila. And Draco, I've never liked. I can't stand Draco. He's like a if you're desperate build him. Or was, until this buff, hopefully. Which is really nice. But anyways, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe. All of my links are that way. Please check those out. If you want to give me monies, it's over there. If you want to watch me somewhere else, it's over there, though I don't honestly stream on Twitch all that much right now. But, I also have my line chat posted over there, so if you want to bother me at 4 o'clock in the morning, you have that right. I'm giving you that ability. Oh, one more thing. I'm super excited about this. I just got this rune literally last night at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Where is it? Dude, check out this speed. The rest of the stats kind of blow, but 27% speed. Or 27%. Jesus, that'd be broken. 27 speed on one rune. And I've already got this one on Ethna. Right here. That's 52 speed and 2 runes. I'm going to build me a 300 speed Ethna. I'm going to do it. But anyways, guys, in regards to these runes, praise our in Jesus. Please like, subscribe, follow, message me at 4 o'clock in the morning. You guys get the gist. Enjoy the new buff coming out. I know I will. And we'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.